Hi, parents, guardians, students, whoever it might be that's watching this video. I just wanted to make this very quickly, show you how to fill out subject selection form, just in case you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, and maybe it might answer some questions that you may have. So, I'm going to pretend that I'm an 8 Blue student, and I'm going to fill this in. So obviously that's my name, and my home group is 8 Blue. And depending on what home group, I'm assuming that you're an 8 Blue if you're watching this. If for some reason you're not in 8 Blue and you're watching this, put whatever home group you're in. Hopefully you can get that first bit down pat down in your systems from there. Now, 8 Blue is studying Italian and has done so in 7 and 8. That needs to continue at year 9. There's no point in picking up, say, French or Japanese when you haven't done the previous 2 years. You will definitely be lost. Okay? So please place a 1 next to Italian. Now, next you have to pick from the 4 possible learning areas, you have to pick 3. There can't be any duplicates. You have to pick 3 of the 4. So in this circumstance, I'm going to pick the arts. I'm going to pick humanities, and I'm going to pick technology. All right. And it's probably not the best idea to leave out science, because I know that if speaking to Ms. Radford, she said that if you want to do science in year 10 or VC or anything, you have to do the year 9 science because it all leads on to each other. Um, so it's definitely something to consider if you want to keep your options open. Science might not be a terrible idea. Now, I put these in order of what I want to do. So I most want to do the arts, next humanities, and third I want to do tech. I definitely want to do arts. I really want to do humanities, and I would rather do tech over science, for example. Right? They're in order of which one you want to do the most. We'll do our best to lock you in to your top one, then most likely, and then try our best as well, depending on how it's done. Now, in this section here, you need to put a number for each of the learning areas that you've done, right? So each one that you picked, you have to number these off. So let's say I really like music. So I'm going to do music performance. I'm going to do musical theatre. I'm going to do audio production. And then the last 2, I don't really mind because I'm not interested in them anyway. So I'm just going to put them as 5-4. Humanities. I would definitely rather do history. I love history. Geography, I can take or leave it, so that's going to be my second preference. Now, because I left off science, I can leave that blank. I don't have to put anything in there. Then in technology, I want to do game design. So I really liked IT and U8, or DT rather. Next, I'm going to do food. Then I'm going to do textiles, and then I'm going to do creative products, for example. Whatever your preference order may be, that's what you do. All right. Next, you can jump in and have a look at the subject handbook, which I happen to have open here. If you would like to know where that is, it's on the MacKillop website. Once that loads, it'd be good. Under Learning and Teaching Subject Handbooks, and then in the 9 and 10 Subject Handbook, because you will be moving into Year 9. This has all the 9 and 10 subjects in there, so if you want a bit more information before you do those preferences, you want to make a more informed decision. Let's say I go to the arts, right? I read through these art subjects because I'm pretty sure I want to just do music performance and then musical theatre, but maybe I'm going to read through this and it doesn't sound like it's what I want to do. Maybe I actually want to do musical theatre instead. So then I go back to my form and I make the appropriate adjustments. So let's say I want to do musical theatre now, and music performance can be my second choice. Right? So make sure you read through that subject handbook to get as much information about the subjects that you're picking as possible. Make an informed choice. And then basically, you'll need to sign this off to say, we've read through the handbook and our child knows what they're in for, or me as a student, I know what I'm in for. I understand how it works, and I also understand that once you give me this subject, I can't then turn around and change my mind and say, oh, actually, I don't want to do that. Right? So when you're done, You can fill in here parent name or guardian name, signature and date, student signature and date. And this says homeroom teacher approval. At this stage, you don't need to do this. Right? This just ignore this for now. This will come to your homeroom teacher later on at a later date. Then when you're done, you'll also have to log on and do the online digital version. And when you're happy with that, you will get a receipt back from the digital version. Please email this form and the digital receipt to this email address here, subject selection at mackillop.vic.edu.au by Wednesday, the 19th of August. That's the basic standard sheet. If that's all you're interested in, feel free to stop watching the video here. One thing I will say before you go is do not pick subjects because your friends are in them. Pick subjects because you want to do them, right? Trust me, as somebody with experience in Year 9, I picked music performance despite not being able to play a musical instrument. I didn't have a great time, okay? Please pick things that you want to do. Don't just pick where your friends are going, okay? The best advice I can give you, because it can be a long semester, right? If you pick musical theatre and you don't know the first thing about music or theatre, or you're not even interested in any of that, you're not going to enjoy it, okay? So please pick things that you want to do. So yeah, if you just want to watch for the Year 9 subject selection, you can pause here. I'm just going to quickly talk about the application for enhanced mathematics and enhanced English. And also if you would like to do a Year 10 subject in Year 9, which is a path that some people choose to give them a higher ATAR score later on or free up some time later on and some choice down the line. I will say to do these things, you have to be achieving quite well. The general standard is 80% in the field that you're looking at, along with a pretty good record in other subjects too. So yeah, those of you that just want the Year 9 form, feel free to pause now. Okay, enhanced mathematics application. If you want to do this, you fill in your name and homeroom. So mine would be Luke Robinson, Nate Blue. Have a little read about this and see if this is what you're interested in. It's basically a pathway to VCE mathematical methods and specialist maths, right? If you're doing really well at maths and you really enjoy it and you want to take it further, please do so. There are a number of criteria. So to be eligible to do this, you need to have above 80% in each assessment in maths. That's obviously a little bit different now. So I think the way that the school will go will be a reference from me instead. Need to achieve an on-demand result greater than level 7. Okay. So any on-demand testing that you do, you need to have a result of 7 or higher. Meet a college attendance and behavioural requirements, display resilience and perseverance with work, maintain high work ethic, manage personal learning and submit work punctually, research think independently, and display a positive attitude and a willingness to seek teacher assistance. I'm happy to write a reference for any of you if I feel that you've met these requirements. So obviously this is for your normal year, particularly the assessment can make things a bit challenging. Then once you're done, get a parent or guardian to sign, date, you do the same, and you email it to subject selection with your Year 9 form and with your receipt from the digital system. Same goes for enhanced English, except rather than speaking to me, you'll need to speak to Mr. Barnes. Again, demonstrate that you're meeting these criteria. They're basically the same except about English instead of maths. And again, it takes you through to be eligible for some Year 12 higher learning in English, I guess. For example, English literature or something like that, if it is offered. Yeah. Speak to your teacher if available. One thing that's worth considering is in Year 12, English is mandatory at this stage. So if you would like to excel in English, it is definitely something to consider. Then the last form is essentially the enhanced English or math form, but it's for any subject, right? So if you would like to apply for this, I can give you an example. First thing I would recommend is go to the subject selection book, which is here, and pick a Year 10 subject that you're interested in. Let's say I'm really enjoying digital technologies and I want to pick my subject because the subject that I teach at the moment because you get to spend more time with me and what's not great about that. Let's say I'm interested in Year 9, IT is everywhere, right? Then in here again I'm going to put my name. I'm just going to put my initials for now. All right, that'll do. I want to apply for IT is everywhere. I think that's the digital technologies. IT is everywhere. Right. To the subject to be replaced in order to study this subject. Right. I would recommend probably getting rid of the Year 9 one. But I guess you're essentially just picking your preference for what subject could be replaced. So let's say on my original form, I was doing, what was I doing for tech? Let's try and keep things nice and balanced. I put down digital technology, game design, development. I might put that down as my subject that I want to replace. And right? That's what I want to replace. Trying to keep things consistent. So let's say I want to replace that subject. The good news is as well, if you don't get into this Year 10 subject, this is what you'll get instead, right? So that's just about that. What field are you interested in? Let's say I want to do computer programming, right? The assumption will be that you want to do something related to this enhanced field that you're interested in. Now again, there's a criteria. Maintain above 80% in English and across all subjects studied. So again, because it's remote learning, that will be something that I guess they'll be a bit more lenient on at the moment because not every subject has had assessment to do. So you definitely need to meet attendance behaviour requirements, resiliency, perseverance, high work ethic, manage personal learning, submit work, research and think independently, have a positive attitude and a willingness to seek teacher assistance. Right. Now, the next step is you need to get two teachers to refer you and support your application based on this above. So at this stage, because it's going to be messy trying to get teachers to approve everyone, what I'm going to recommend is that you fill out these forms for your teachers, send them an email to say, can you recommend me for this? When they reply with that yes, just attach that email to the email that you're going to send through. So, for example, and one thing as well, these two teachers, firstly, they have to have taught you for at least a semester. But secondly, one of them needs to be related to your current area of study, right? So your current teacher is Miss Morton. It's Miss Morton. Apologies if I got that wrong. All right. Her code, I'll have to double check, but her code should be on your timetable. I always forget how it works. I think it's JMO is her one. If she recommends you or not, she'll be able to respond to these things. She teaches digital tech. And then obviously you would contact her and say, hey, I'm interested in doing this. Could you please reply with an email to give me your approval? Or you can send this through to her and get her to sign it. And then you might pick another teacher that, that you think is willing to support you. So let's say I'll pick Mr. DeCastro, right? I think he's the CIA. I've definitely got one of these codes wrong, mind you. Alright, let's assume that that's how the codes work. Double check your timetable for the codes. Okay. And again, you would contact him and say, do you recommend that I can do a Year 10 subject based off that? And then you talk me through Italian and send that through to him and get him to sign it. Once that's done, parents to sign it, you sign it, you attach it with any of the other applications that you've done so far, attach them all onto the same thing, and send it through to subject selection at mcdonald.vic.edu.au. Please contact me if you have any questions, because this is quite a long process. For one. So contact me if you have any questions. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.